Simone. Well, now to a story that you'll only see here on NBC 12. The Petersburg police chief is opening up about the tragic loss of his own son, killed in a horrific crash on I-95 in Richmond 1 year ago.
Travis Christian Jr. was just 31 years old. He was behind the wheel when he veered off the road, overcorrected, and landed on the Jersey wall. He was able to get out, but that's when the story takes a devastating turn. Tonight, new at 11, Brent Solomon, the only reporter the police chief is speaking with about this, and that couldn't have been an easy conversation, Brent.
Road safety is an issue that's very important to Petersburg Police Chief Travis Christian. He's seen tragedy after tragedy, comforted victims and their families, never knowing one day he'd have a story of his own.
It's one of those situations as a parent that you never would imagine having to go through. You know, none of us could even imagine having to bury a child.
Petersburg Police Chief Travis Christian has seen better days.
It's a very difficult moment to deal with. It's a difficult week for me.
He stays strong, knowing that's what his son would want. It's been a year now since he got the news. He had just come home.
So I saw police officers there, and I was kind of taken back, not really understanding what was going on.
They were there to console him after sharing this.
My son had been involved in a motor vehicle accident in which he was killed.
Since that time, Christian hasn't said much publicly until now. 31-year-old Travis Christian Jr. was on I-95 in Richmond, headed north to his home in Ashland. He veered off the road onto the right shoulder, overcorrected, and landed on the Jersey wall. He was actually able to make it out of his car. While trying to get help, Christian says two vehicles struck his son, one of them a semi.
Value life. Life is precious. And love your kids.
Christian believes his son was holding his cell phone and talking on it when he initially veered off the roadway.
The importance of having hands-free with laws in place at this time is really important to me. You know, I can understand now why that's so important to everybody, because it hit home.
1 year since the tragedy, this sign now visible at the scene, just before the Arthur Ashe exit.
If you just slow down and just read that one sign, you know, read that one sign, and if it saves one life, just because you slowed down to read that sign, drive safely. That's the message that I want to get out to people.
The drivers who struck Christian both stopped at the scene, so neither had to be charged. Tonight, the police chief is hoping his story will inspire all drivers to be attentive at all times. Live on your side in Richmond, Brent Solomon, NBC 12.
Okay, Brent, thank you. The Senate clears up